premieres and staggered launches and release dates, I can't help but think back to the good old days of, I don't know, 5 years ago, when you used to get the bulk of your new material all at once right around this time. The old cycle of September to May, with sweeps weeks in November and February, giving us a reliable calendar of not only when to expect new shows, but really juicy plot lines to draw viewers in, is something I kind of miss. X-Files used to do their mythology episodes around these times, Buffy and her love triangles, or the big bad reveals. It was cool. It was fun. Made for some great TV memories. Maybe I'm just being nostalgic, which I guess is also pretty in these days. Secrets of the Sire starts now.
Secrets of the Sire.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Secrets of the Sire. We talk comics, movies, TV, and pop culture every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern on the Sire Studios digital network. That is youtube.com/Secrets of the Sire, facebook.com/Secrets of the Sire, twitch.tv/Secrets of the Sire. We're on radiopublic.com, and we just got added to the Cast Network. It's great. Go check out that stuff as well, too. We'll give you some more details on the website. Tonight, it's Fall TV Preview episode where we play verses with your favorite new or returning pop culture shows, which spinoff you're looking forward to more, which returning ensemble cast, and which Arrowverse show reigns supreme. Plus, we've got snippets of a new Game of Thrones prequel, and South Park has been renewed, much to the chagrin of everyone out there who'd love to cancel it. I'm your host, Michael Dolce, as always joined by my co-host extraordinaire, Mr. Hassan Godwin. How you doing, sir?
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. I am tired.
Happy birthday to our friend Darren Sanchez. His birthday was yesterday.
That is correct. Happy birthday, Darren. And he's a frequent collaborator on said show, which is great.
Friend of the show. Friend
of the show. So I played Mr. Mom today. It was fantastic. Both my kids were sick. My wife had to work though. The beauty of working for yourself.
A sentence only a married man can get away with, because if I said the same thing, it would all be very awkward. Yeah, yes, man, I played Mr. Mom yesterday.
Yes.
With somebody else's kid.
Yes.
It would be very bad. So yeah, only okay. So elaborate, please.
No, so just both kids were sick. And the beauty of like working for yourself is like you get to make your own schedule, and luckily like I didn't have any deadlines, I didn't have anything pressing. I'm my New York Comic Con stuff, which I'm getting prepped for. Like I got everything.
Yeah, coming right up, man. Right up.
We will be at booth 1042 at New York Comic Con, so check us out August 3rd to the 7th, or 3rd to the 6th, I should say. I got everything out, so it's kind of like, yeah, I can take the kid today, and it was good. I mean, it was cool though because he's 3.5 now. Took them both to the doctor, basically just treated this like a weekend. I'm trying to find a way to make this interesting, but really I'm just trying to tell you I'm tired. I'm basically just tired. It is exhausting. Anyone out there in the creative field that even thinks about having kids, there are a lot of parents that I know in the creative community, one kid. That was it.
Which makes Bill Cosby, whose opinion is, it is what it is now. But he said that he does parents of one child, he doesn't consider them parents.
No.
Because he said something breaks in the house, you know who did it. you don't. There's no detective work involved. There's no investigative research that has to take place.
Yeah, no. It's two. One is a game changer, like a life changer. Two is just mayhem.
Yeah, I don't want my life changed to that extent.
No. And it's funny too because I talk to a lot of people that I'm working with right now, and we're doing like some screenplays or web series. We're working on a whole bunch of different things, and they're all like, "Yeah, I can't wait to have kids one day." And I'm like, "No, like,
no,
you know why
get all the other stuff done first. Get rich,
because I have no time, none. All right, but we
get rich, get a big house, get some nannies and stuff like that. Then they can.
I used to look down on the nannies. All right, I don't think anybody wants to hear about this. They want to get into the brand new segment that we debuted last week. Our Sire Bites.
Yeah, the segment that you tried to rename in mid-segment.
Well, I liked it because I made a nice audio to go along with it, which you just heard. All right, Game of Thrones, second prequel in the works at HBO. The pilot, which is near a deal with the premium cable network, would focus on House Targaryen, according to Hollywood Reporter. Sources confirm the premium cable network is near a deal for a pilot for a prequel set 300 years before the events of the flagship series. It tracks the beginning and the end of House Targaryen. Ryan Condal and Game of Thrones author George R.R. Martin will pen the script.
George R. Martin.
George R.
Martin.
Will pen the script for the drama, but meanwhile, he can't write a friggin' book.
Stop.
It's based on Martin's book.
Don't even get yourself into that rabbit hole, man. That's some darkness.
My question to you, Hassan.
Yeah.
Not do we need this? It's not the question I'm looking for. After the response to the final season of Game of Thrones, do we need this? Or do people want this?
17 million people watched that last episode. So,
they were pretty pissed.
No.
Are they going to be Spider-Man level pissed?
Everybody says they're pissed. Everybody says they're upset. They're upset about everything. But the echo chamber online or whatever, the people who use Twitter, and, people who use it to complain, and then they complain. They have to continuously keep that barrage of negativity up in order to make sure that it overtakes the narrative. But I am actually not saying that the last season was a great season, but I don't think the overwhelming public feels as vitriolic about it as most of these
Twitter's not real, is it?
I don't think it's real. No, I think people are underwhelmed by that last season. I think people feel it was rushed, and they might not be happy with who became king, and how the fates of certain characters turned out. And I don't dispute that, but hate, no. Yeah. If you hated it, I mean, if the show seriously suffered, and that last season was such a travesty that it destroyed the franchise or whatever, there would have been no watching. The how many shows in the history of television have more people watching the finale than watch the debut?
Yeah.
Than watch the show at its peak.
Yeah.
You had 17 million people, or 17 or 19 million people.
Right.
And they pirate the show. So the show
I was going to say there's at least another 15 million that have stolen that show since.
Exactly. So, I mean, look, man, I think they'll be fine. I think one of the interesting things is that no one's talking about the Blood Moon prequel. And rumor has it, and we know about how reliable rumors are, right? We know whether or not to dabble in that currency, but rumor has it that that prequel got delivered to HBO, that the pilot got delivered to HBO, and they despise it.
Really?
Which is what sparks this the announcement of the Targaryen. They're starting to develop the Targaryen one. Now, the interesting thing about it is that, and I don't know this for certain, nobody knows this for certain, so this is not news. It is not news. It is just speculation.
It is hearsay. I like it.
Yeah.
We should be dabbling in hearsay more often.
I think it's way easier. It's just like the stress is like, there's such less stress to it. But rumor has it, it's people agree with the idea a little more about this new show, the Targaryen show, over this Blood Moon show, because Blood Moon has nothing to do with the books, really, because there is no Night King in the books.
Yeah.
So that means it is completely off Martin's script, off George Martin's script, and we kind of know what happened when they went off the Martin material. Whereas Martin just put out 2 books on the Targaryens. He put out one big book on the Targaryens. He's coming out with another one. Yeah. So you have source material. He's also wants to be involved. He wants to be writing.
Well, he wrote the
there you go.
pilot script.
So I mean, look, when we have Martin, maybe not his writing in general, maybe not for television. I don't know. I don't know how it translates. I don't know what screenplay writing entails. I really don't. But when we have him in the creative corner, we got some of the best Game of Thrones, right? That show became the greatest show on television, right? When he was gone, regardless of how you feel about those about season 6 to 8, right? When he was gone, you felt his absence. Even if you loved it, and there's a lot about those last 3 seasons that I really like. There's a lot I love. There's a lot I really like about it. But you could tell he was gone. You know, you could tell that there was some there was a majesty behind
something missing.
Yeah, that was gone. It just became another show.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. It was one of the better shows. One of the better shows ever made, even still.
Yeah.
But it wasn't nearly
no.
What it was at its height. So the idea of the Targaryen show.
That's actually the marketing. That right there is the marketing. It's like, this one has George.
There you go.
Right?
They should call you.
Well, I
they
mean,
should honestly call you. This one has George. That would be that would be the Dolce tag on it. This one has George. I'll take my check now. Thank you very much. And now, you know what? That would get me to watch it. It really would.
No, I know what I'm doing. I'm a marketing guru after all. All right. Second, Sire Bite. I love that soundbite. As South Park gets renewed through 2022, Matt Stone and Trey Parker also have new movie ideas. This is also from Hollywood Reporter. The duo is floating some really effing killer ideas, not South Park related, for new theatrical release. Ever since South Park premiered in August 1997, I'm going to say that again, August 1997, I was about to go to college. The show has fielded...
I was there, dude. That was the year my mom died.
Oh,
so sorry. I remember that. I remember that very vividly.
Way to bring that show down.
Hey, man. Hey.
Sorry. Condolences, and you suck. Like all, Cover.
Did that. I kind of did that on purpose. I kind of did, because you were going to talk about college and how hey man, I'm young. I was about to go into and I'm like over there like, no, it was worse. So I was like, you know what?
It's like I got nothing on that one. I can't.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw a bucket of cold water on this reminiscing right here.
We'll just keep it rolling. The naysayers will have some more time to complain, as South Park has just been renewed by Comedy Central through 20.
Who's upset about South Park though? I mean, aren't the fans of South Park
for this though
pretty enthusiastic about South Park being around for 22 years?
They actually have said people have been talking about canceling us for 22 effing years, Parker says. In this day and age, it is more of an achievement than it was before, the fact that we are still going. Yet even after all they've had to endure through the years, the duo agrees cancel culture is different and something that deeply irks them. It's new, Stone says, of cancel culture. The term used to refer to boycotts started, usually via social media, when a person or group is offended by a star or brand. I don't want to say it's the same as it's always been. The kids are effing different than us. There's a generational thing going on. Stone also shared his theory as to why critics were so hard on the latest Chappelle special, which I just finished watching, which was unbelievable.
I haven't watched it yet. I'm probably going to try to watch it tonight.
It's Dave Chappelle, and he's just a genius. But viewers seem to enjoy it far more. I feel bad for television critics and cultural critics, Stone explains. They may have laughed like hell at that, and then they went home, and they know what they have to write to keep their job. So when I read TV reviews or cultural reviews, I think of someone in prison writing. I think about somebody writing a hostage note. This is not what they think. This is what they have to do to keep their job in a social media world. So I don't hold it against them.
Okay, so that was a well done segue from what we were just talking about with the Game of Thrones and how they're trying to cancel Game of Thrones because nobody likes that. It's like we planned it,
except we actually kind of didn't. So
no, we didn't plan it at all. But I mean, you should have just taken a bow for that.
We totally planned it, and we're awesome at life and TV. And,
excellent, man. That's why we belong here. Give us money.
Yeah, do not cancel us. Actually, no. The funny thing is, we are so unpopular. No one's trying to cancel us.
I know we'll be in real trouble the minute we start attracting a lot of attention.
They're like 188 episodes. How'd you guys get past one?
Yeah, exactly. You guys are terrible. Cancel. Oh man, we were doing good. I don't know. So basically, the controversy of South Park has kind of caught up to it, right? Because those guys were pushing the envelope for a long time, right? And so now they've run into the wall of millennial discontent, right? And so people are trying to boycott and get the show taken off the air.
It's not even a question of that. There was people that were trying to cancel them. They had a whole hashtag, but they actually used that hashtag as their promotional marketing material for their last season. So it was hashtag cancel South Park, and that was the whole like running joke of the season.
That's your theory too, isn't it? Like, whatever your backlash is, you got to lean into that backlash.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? Either that or you got to ignore it completely until it just kind of blows over.
I was just reading about, and we're not going to cover this in our fall TV preview, but the new Jennifer Aniston Apple TV streaming series is all about the morning news anchor who is accused of sexual misconduct and is let go, and basically they're telling the Matt Lauer story in a fictional way. But now it's like, go watch the Chappelle Show. It's amazing that I even saw this. Go watch the Chappelle Show because he talks about all this stuff, and he talks about the cancel culture. He talks about how, despite the fact that people, it's so hard to be a comedian right now, and it absolutely is. Like
it's a thing we give power to. We give it a lot of power, and like I think what broke the back of the monolith that was the cancel. I mean, cancel culture still exists, but the monolith that is behind the boycott culture, which is kind of an adjacent to cancel culture, was, as I've said before, was
cancel
Captain
culture
Marvel
is boycott culture.
Yeah, but I mean, it's to a different degree.
Yeah, it's weaponized. I mean,
what gave boycott culture its wings basically was a failure of Solo. It's one of the things that actually propelled it, because it was like one of the successful supposed shutdowns, right? Of a juggernaut.
Right.
But you can't even say that. I mean, we'll find out with the Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
But you can't even say that was exactly what did it, because there was such a perfect storm of misadventure when it came to Solo, that you don't even know if the cancel culture actually got Solo.
Right.
So we don't really have, and everything else that they said that was going to fail. Captain Marvel, a bunch of other, like Spider-Man, a couple of other shows. Like I remember they were talking about after Endgames, like, can Spider-Man even hold a candle compared to the monster that is Endgame?
Right.
This is going to be everything that they've ever said. It's MCU's next flop. This is going to be, can Spider-Man be the next flop? The first flop of the MCU.
Right.
This makes $1 billion.
Right.
So these people don't really. They speculate, but in the process of speculating, every one of them is trying to start a narrative.
Right.
It's like they're trying to trend it so that it becomes so that it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, and it becomes that. And then they try some other things that didn't work. They tried to prop up Alita. Remember Battle Angel Alita?
Yeah.
They said go see Alita instead of Captain Marvel. Alita might not even get a sequel.
No.
So it didn't work. Obviously.
I'm actually attributing, or I'm going to use a parallel to. First of all, a couple things. One, I watch ever since Bill Maher insulted comic book fans. I've actually started watching Bill Maher again, and I still love his show. I love that fact that he gets up there and he's just like, we're hated by this group and this group. We're hated.
I haven't seen
sides.
him in a long time, and it has
his
really
HBO
nothing
show
to do.
Is
with...
excellent. He has an amazing. He makes it a point to bring on people of opposing points of view, and it's not I'm not watching affirmation. Like, he has his political views, don't get me wrong, which now seems
very strong ones,
which now seems centrist, ironically enough, like 20 years later after he's been around. But he talks about how Twitter's just not real. And look at San Diego Comic-Con this year, and one of the things that we did in our recap was a lot of movie studios are pulling out because they're like, look, Twitter is not real. Snakes in a Plane got huge Twitter buzz when it was first announced, and it flopped. A lot of these films, I think.
Social media in general is not a proper gauge
it's not real. Literally, it's not real. Literally, you have bots that are spamming you, as we've kind of, as we're all kind of starting to realize a little bit. You don't, in the heat of the moment, when somebody actually responds to something that you do in a negative way, your first instinct is to fight, right? It's fight or flight. You're either going to get the hell off social media, you're going to fight. Most times you end up fighting, and that's what ends up kind of driving, the machine that is social media. Go and look how many followers that person has or who that person is. It makes they either are a recluse living in their parents' basement, or they don't exist. Like they literally don't exist. So it's interesting to see this. I am.
You know what's ironic? What's going to be ironic is that we're going to find out. You know what's going to actually cancel culture, or what is canceling cancel culture?
What?
Trump.
Oh yeah.
Because he just he just barrels through it. If you refuse to be canceled, they can't cancel you. That's what That's what I was saying before. It's like it's an agreed upon lie. Like it's like, oh well, he's been canceled, so excuse me, we'll just go ahead and shut him down,
right?
Because obviously his star has fallen,
right?
And so we don't want to be attached to him with his star fallen. So cancel his show and cancel all his sponsors and stuff. And it's a prophecy that fulfills itself,
right?
If everybody there's who's the guy from the Nerdist, the talking.
Oh, Hardwick, Chris.
Yeah, Hardwick. He refused to get Me Too'd. They tried to Me Too him real bad. His ex-girlfriend wrote this long letter.
Right.
It was a product of a lot of debates and a lot of consternation back and forth. And he just kind of looked, no, this is not real. This is not these things didn't happen the way they happened, or they happened quite differently. I'm doing really good
though. He was lucky in the sense that kind of like the point you brought up. You did have people kind of rising.
His surrounding people decided not to cancel him.
But also he was like the second or third one. Like at that point,
yeah, he wasn't the first.
He wasn't. He wasn't. What's his face from Master of None and Parks and Rec? Come on.
I don't know Parks and Rec. I never watched it. I'm sorry.
You never did?
So sorry. Nope, never watched Parks.
Oh, Aziz Ansari is who I'm thinking of, by the way. Aziz Ansari was the first.
Okay, yeah, oh yeah.
To quasi.
He kind of got out of that. Yeah, he did.
But he got quasi Me Too'd, and Chris Hardwick got quasi Me Too'd also.
Well, the thing is, Matt Lauer, the accusations were real. I mean, when it's real, you can't really walk away from what's real.
Well, the accusations were real against Aziz Ansari too, and a lot of people looked at that one being like, not a sexual predator. Matt Lauer was kind of like a dick. He literally sent a dick to somebody. But
here's the thing: you don't have you don't have the support, the network support. Right. Everybody gives it power, right? If someone came to me and says like, yeah, look, Mike did this, and that. If I decided,
I stand by everything that you just said.
Yeah.
I did it all. I did it all.
If I decide, well, I don't really believe you, and then when we go on, like if I decide, yeah, he did this stuff, and then I went on and did my own little op-ed, which is what everybody does now. I'd like to say a few things about my relationship with Michael and this, and then I'm making it real.
Those were my mashed potatoes.
Strawberries. You stole my strawberries. But if I decide like, look, I know the guy, I talked to the guy, I'm not giving this any light.
Right.
Then I'm one piece in it. But if everybody decides, look, we're gonna give him, we know the guy, we're giving him the benefit of the doubt. We're gonna look into it ourselves. We're not gonna react to this.
Right.
Then it survives.
Yeah.
So it's the culture, the social media culture, is only powerful because everybody is using it as a shortcut.
Yeah.
To try to keep their ratings up and to try to keep it relevant. And when you got the news looking at Twitter accounts.
Follow us on Instagram at Sire Studios. Follow us on Twitter at Sire_Studios.
What would have been funnier than this is if you put that up on the screen as I was talking. No, without saying it. It just, if it was just rising up on the screen while I was talking, that would have been actually funnier.
True. But you got to realize
we'll get to that next time.
Podcast and a live stream. So.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
All right. Well, either way, we
exist as both.
Looking forward to the new seasons of South Park. Looking forward to some of their theatrical stuff that they're looking to do as well too. If I had a short list before we go to break of people I would love to actually meet and I would geek out about, it would be Trey and Matt. I would love to, because they're just always on top. But all right, when we come back, it is our fall TV preview, and we go versus. Which shows are you looking forward to more when we return?
check out the all-new Sire Studios website, SireStudiosInc.com. Find all your back issues for The Sire, Mainstream, Undone, and more, and be on the lookout for news and announcements, convention appearances, and brand new podcasts coming to Sire Studios. That address again is SireStudiosInc.com.
No.
Bum,
No CNC
bum,
Music
bum,
Factor.
bum,
No
bum,
CNC Music Factory. Stop.
Are you ready for this?
What are you
Secrets of the
even
Sire
doing?
is brought to you by all of our beloved patrons, dedicated fans: Tom Osa,
Don't
Craig
care.
Caruso, Einar Peterson, Matt Byer, Essie Maikai, Omar Morales, Brian Phillips, Steve Ovecki, Program Director Stephanie Dolce, and as always, our Uber fan Christina Dolce.
All of them owe
You
me
can
money.
tell we are just deliriously tired tonight, but we are doing this for you guys.
They all owe me money.
For you guys. All right. It's our fall TV preview. Rather than go out and get insiders to talk about these TV shows, because that would have been work.
Yeah.
I decided.
And we don't know anybody else.
Let's just be. Well, don't tell people that.
Why?
We had a Riverdale person on that.
You already said you don't want to do work. So, I mean, what's the...
Yeah, it's true.
How much more revealing could I have possibly been just now?
Do you know the funny thing is we could ask for screeners too? We are at a position now, and I'm happy to admit this. We're at a position now where I could legitimately ask companies for screeners. I haven't yet. I should.
I know.
They may or may not say no.
We need premiere tickets too. We need to be able to go to some of these premieres.
May or may not say no. That's a big step up, right? So I'm still
from who the heck are you, right?
Right, exactly, right. Like we're like we might get a rejection a few days later, not immediately, or not like never.
Yeah. So The worst thing is not even to get a rejection.
Right. No, that is
just silence.
Right.
Just
it's like
silence.
like I can't even dignify your request. But no. So instead of doing that, even if we were sent screeners, I don't even have the time at this moment to watch all these shows. But so I decided to do something really cool because I
saw a show last night. Should have talked to you about it. I'll talk to you about it off the air. I saw a show last night that was like astonishing, but it was.
So it was like
for kids. It wasn't. It's not for. I mean, it was like it was too much. It was a Netflix show. It was way too much.
What show is it?
No, we'll let people tune in next week. We'll reveal it next week.
Look at you go. I like what you're doing. All right.
Maybe. Well, because I'll talk to you after it, and if it becomes something that we don't want to talk about, then
is it Dark Crystal? It's Dark Crystal, huh?
No. I did watch Dark Crystal. Did you watch Dark Crystal?
No, I have not. I need to still watch Glow, man. Glow season 3.
Oh my God, that's not even a comic book thing, though.
No, it's just an amazing show, and I love Alison Brie. She's top of my list.
Amazing. People stop using superlatives. Amazing.
Oh yeah,
it's not amazing. It's not an amazing show.
It is. It's a great show.
It's not amazing. I'm sorry.
It's top 5 all time.
Have you heard that they wanted the Esmail, the guy who's done? I don't know if this is part of your future news for the broadcast, but the guy who has done Mr. Robot is talking about he's the next project he's doing. He's going to reboot Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, good luck with that.
He got a green light to do it.
Of course he did.
It's happening. Like what?
And brand recognition plus a.
Sure, why not? Why don't we? But I mean, the last one wasn't even 15 years ago. I mean, it's like it wasn't even. Stop it. You know, like come on now. It is the reboot we do not need. We do not need this reboot.
Good segue. Good enough segue.
Of course.
To our
me doing the assist. Preview. That's an assist that I'm getting.
Which shows are you looking forward to more? And
none.
I there's not just 6 shows, but I did manage to.
I'm looking forward to Blind Spot season 5.
3 categories. Ready? We're going to start with this one, and this one's the most controversial. Spin-offs. We have 2 spin-offs debuting this fall. We have Watchmen on HBO. We have Mandalorian on Disney Plus. I posted this on Facebook, and immediately everyone's like, Mandalorian, Mandalorian, Mandalorian. Eventually, people came around and was like, no, I want to see Watchmen.
Now, hold on. Did you post this on social media after we just did an entire segment about how social media is a lie and not a gauge of the popularity?
Not when I posted on my personal page. My personal page is like authentic people. Right. Like Andrew Lavulo and
I think we need to do it. I think we need to do a distinction, though. That's what I was trying to do. I'm trying to do this.
No,
so
we
don't contradict ourselves. We don't want to be contradicting ourselves.
No,
that's a bad thing.
I always do that. I got to fix the URL for my personal page too, because I'm basically not doing anything personal anymore. I'm just doing the show. I just basically. I'm just essentially just I am a construct that lives to sell. I'm everything my 19-year-old self fought hard to not be.
Yes, you are
like 19-year-old self is like,
you've become what you hate. You've become the enemy.
19-year-old self, don't sell out. 39-year-old self is like,
sell out every night.
Out. Like, sell it out, baby.
First sign of trouble. Sell out.
You need a nanny, damn it. You need a nanny for these two kids.
That's what George Lucas said. He was like, he railed against the system. Who is a bigger corporation now than George Lucas?
I know.
Who is a bigger single entity corporation than George Lucas? It's terrible.
Once again, maybe I would like to meet Bill Maher, but I'm plugging him because he actually talks about that too. He's like when you're young, everything is, and he's right. But it's same observation I had. Like when you're young, everything.
But is it? Are you really selling out? Are you really compromising, or are you just kind of more even about things? Are you just like, all right, well. There's no need to stab anybody about this. I mean, that's literally what getting older is about.
You know what it is? It all comes down to, and this is for all the kids out there. This is the more you know. The more you know. Getting older sucks. Your body hurts more. You can't live.
Everybody knows that.
In a room. No, but I got to emphasize this because when you're 19, you're like, nah, dude, you just got to exercise. I remember talking to somebody who's like 28, 29, and he's like, yeah, my metabolism slowed down, and he's like, it was easier to gain weight. And I'm like, nah, dude, you just got to exercise more. I don't understand. You just got, you're sitting on you just got to do that. And then like 28, 29 kicks in. You're like, all right, I do have to exercise more. And you do. And then you're like, but by exercising more, your body hurts more, where it didn't prior.
Also, it takes a lot of energy to exercise. Like,
yes.
That there's a lot of energy involved in not in motivating yourself to exercise, but actually fulfilling the exercise in of itself.
Yes. No, it's pretty awful. So anyway, as
welcome.
Yeah. This is just.
Is it fun? Are you enjoying yourself?
Yeah.
We've got cookies.
Right. Watchmen, Mandalorian. Which one are you looking forward to more?
Neither, really. I'm interested.
You got to do one or the other. Come on.
No, you don't tell me these things beforehand. I don't have anything prepared. No, I'm not.
It's verses.
So what?
One versus the other.
You can't just say, "Oh, it's a versus. It's a motif." Before I don't have anything prepared. I am not necessarily.
You don't need to have anything prepared. I'm asking you just point blank. Like if I was asking you in the street, pick one. You had to pick one. Which one are you more excited to see?
Neither. I'm more interested.
Okay, more interested
in Mandalorian than I am. I think Watchmen looks
fascinating,
terrible
because you are so specific about a word. I'm going for a feeling, and I'm using a word to try to convey that feeling.
No. Here's the thing. I would have answered it right away if we had just run with it. But then you're telling me, no, you got to do this. You got to. Of course, I'm going to resist. I'm not going along with it. I'm not going along with anything you say. Jerk.
You son of a.
That's just how it works.
You're absolutely.
That's how this has worked for like 2 years. What's the matter with you? No, but I mean, look, Mandalorian looks really interesting.
Yeah,
I'm interested in it. I don't think, just for the sake of argument, just for the sake of this particular argument, this specific argument, I don't think I get excited about these things anymore. Like, just excited in general about, like, oh, that looks good. I'm interested in seeing that. I think the last thing I was honestly like, whoa, counting the days about when is that going to come up?
Glow.
Was Endgame.
Glow.
No, it wasn't 3. Glow. No, that's you. That's you weirdo pervert.
It's a weird pervert. It's an Emmy nominated.
It's chick wrestling.
They're all Emmy nominated actresses. What are you
okay? Oh yeah, me too.
We are not Emmy nominated
Endgame.
actresses.
I was excited. You want me to answer the question or what, jerk? I was excited about Endgame.
Yeah.
I'm like, I really want to see. I knew, of
Which one
course, we all know.
Yeah.
We all knew they were all coming back and everything like that. But you want to know how. You want to know. Look, it was a blowout. It was an extravaganza. The Infinity War. You want to see if they are going to be able to keep that energy going,
mm-hmm.
and to land it. And so that I was really excited about that. Then they're talking about like, oh, Spider-Man: Far From Home. I'm like, all right, I'll go see that. I'm sure that'll be good. I went in the theater. I'm like, hey, I'm enjoying this. This is great. But I'm not. I wasn't like, I gotta get there, man. God, see, I gotta hold up the MCU.
We'll use your terminology. More interested to see.
I'm more interested in seeing The Mandalorian.
I think most
what I am genuinely excited to see, if that exists, is Clone Wars Season 6. That's what I'm excited to see.
Okay.
Or Season 7, technically. It's technically Season 7. But, The Watchmen, I think Watchmen looks terrible. I think it looks everything I've seen of it, I'm like, what is this? I don't even understand what this is. And if there's going to be some kind of, I don't know what they're going to do as an allegorical thing with this and that and race and stuff like that. All right. Like, if you pull it off, great. And I'll watch it to see.
Haysbert Middleton, actually, to your point, what you're saying, I was
glad you interrupted me to tell me what.
Well, I always have to. I had the excitement for Mandalorian. He said, "I love Watchmen, and originally I was a bit skeptical, but after looking into the story and seeing what they're going to do, I'm intrigued. Regina King plays a cop vigilante trying to solve a mass murder on the police, perpetrated by a terrorist group that wears Rorschach masks. It's going to focus heavily on politics of masks and those who wear them." Andrew Laveau says a show by
Hold on. Alan Moore, okay? Is that ground you want to try to elaborate on? Is that ground you want to try to?
New. I mean,
that's what I'm talking about. Like, you're going to try to add to Alan Moore. You're going to try to. They're not even really seemingly trying to expand on what Alan Moore has said or done. They're trying to sequelize him. They're just like, we're gonna tack this on at the end of this, right? Now, look, the adaptation, which I know we're gonna get to an extent, the movie adaptation of Watchmen,
right?
Which I will admit, and I know and you and I are uniquely suited to have this discussion because you're a big fan of the comic.
Oh, I love the graphic novel. Yeah,
and I had not read the comic before I saw the movie.
I know. I actually fired you. I rehired you since you admitted that. But
I told you that like 20 years ago when we first saw. Anyway,
that's because you have dirt on my misconduct. So he was a terrible employer.
Yeah, and therefore
he used to show up to the studio with no pants on.
Now it is I who run Secrets of the Sun, and my first act as leader of Secrets of the is to tell you what the secret is.
I'm like used to wear no pants. What do you mean? No,
Stop.
They can't see anything. They don't know what's going on.
I thought that adaptation was a good adaptation of material that's really difficult to adapt.
Yes.
And that adaptation is panned. It's largely panned by people. Like, a lot of people just dislike it.
Yeah.
So in the conventional wisdom, you're going to do a spin-off of it.
Yeah.
Spin-off sequel-ish kind of thing.
David S. Rosenberg says, they say flogging a dead horse comes to mind when thinking about how Warner and DC keep milking the S out of Watchmen for the past 2 decades. Because DC also did release...
For God's sake. Yeah, the Watchmen... I remember those.
I just refuse to read because it doesn't need it. It just doesn't need it. I know we use that term and go, well, nothing is necessary.
Well, I mean, whether or not it needs it or not, you didn't want to go there. That's all. That's all that matters.
Because when you have something that is a confined masterpiece, anything that you do to it outside of its confinements is, in my mind, going to just water it down. It's almost like the new Star Wars movies. We didn't need these Star Wars movies because I would have loved it if they had done these Star Wars movies about Rey, Finn, and Poe and just left the old. Left it as the backdrop and do something new. That's exciting.
Yeah. Do it 100 years in the future, Han, Leia, the rest of them are dead, and their fates are obscure. Like, we don't know exactly how they died.
You're trying to tell a story. You're trying to tell a new story while closing a story that already had an ending that was sufficient. We had a sufficient ending, and that's the way I feel about that. All right, real quick, ensemble casts returning. We have a Riverdale or Walking Dead. Now, this is interesting because I know you don't watch either of the shows, and I don't watch either shows. Actually, I do watch Walking Dead. I can't say I don't.
Why'd you pick that? Then?
Well, because this is what I want. I want to look at the ensemble cast from a different point of view right here. Right?
I've heard, though, hold on. I've heard that Walking Dead had returned to form in its previous season.
We're in season, my dad and I, we just watched episode 2 of season 9. So we are still like an entire season behind. The first episode was dumb. The second episode is starting to build something good. I can tell you from the comic, because I know where the comic went, and from what I've read now about what has happened in season 9, it is very possible. However, they're losing Michonne in this season. They already lost Rick in this season, last season. Some more major characters were killed off. It's basically just focusing on Daryl at this point. But meanwhile, you have Riverdale, which is dealing with the death of Luke Perry, which I thought was actually interesting too, because he was a cast member of Riverdale.
Yeah, that's pretty powerful.
So it's interesting to see these two shows as they morph from obviously Walking Dead season 10.
I got my issues with The Walking Dead. It's like, where can that go?
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's been on. I know the show is long lasting. The show is a success.
Yeah.
No hot take I am ever going to be able to say about the show will take away the fact that the show is a barnstorming success, whether I like it or not.
Right.
I do not presume to throw dirt on The Walking Dead. It's a bona fide hit. For me personally, the reason I can't watch it is because where's it going? What secrets will be revealed? What twists and turns are going to happen? All you can do, in my opinion, is just keep killing people and keep making it, keep making their deaths elaborate and surprising.
Yeah.
And after a while, that trope just gets. I mean, after they killed Beth in the dumbest way I've ever seen them kill a character.
Yes.
I'm like, and then they topped it because they killed off what's his name. The husband from Alexandria or whatever.
Oh,
because the guy accidentally cut the guy's throat, with a samurai sword.
Right.
Because it's easy to do that. Like if I was just playing, I accidentally cut Mike's throat.
I tell my kids all the time to put the samurai sword down.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, "Why do you have a samurai sword?"
Because you just have it lying around, right? With the kids. Yeah. Well, you just, you're a busy man. Sometimes you don't have time to put it away. But
misconduct.
Boy, that was you did that. That was you. That wasn't me.
Took over the show.
I'm not taking responsibility for that.
Took it back from Hassan. Well, you just harassed me, and we haven't.
Oh boy. Yeah. All right. Yeah. See, try selling that. I'll just pull the race card on you, and I'll be all right. But anyway, it just to me. It just never the narrative. I'm not going for it.
I'm laughing actually because my son is obsessed with running races right now. Like everything is a race, and that's how we get him to do things right now. Like we're like, instead of being like it's time to put your shoes on and go, it's I will race you to the.
Apparently, parenthood is varying degrees of blackmail.
It is. It's like psychological torture. Actually, I feel terrible because at 1 minute I'm like screaming at him, the next I'm like, I love you, son.
Oh boy,
it's terrible. It's the worst.
I'm not in for it.
Do not do it. I recommend to people do not do it.
I keep sending the brochure back when they send it to me.
There is
no thank you
about it.
No thank you.
It's so rewarding, and I'm like, I'm waiting for this reward. Like
it's like the computer, like the warning thing that comes up on your computer. Do you want this to alter your life? And I'm like, no.
I'm waiting for the reward. I keep getting broker.
Do you want children to make changes into your life? Such wants to make changes into Windows. Like, no, thank you. No, click no. Click no.
All right, but I digress.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, so you got Riverdale, and you got Walking Dead. Your choice basically is you're more intrigued by Walking Dead, even though you haven't caught up to.
You know what's funny? I have Riverdale on my Netflix, and it's just one of those things where it's like I know I will get into it. Roberto.
Riverdale is basically the Archie spinoff,
which I loved when I was a kid. And Roberto Aguirre Sacasa is the showrunner, and he was a comic book writer. So he wasn't a great one, I got to be honest with you, but apparently.
Shit.
No, I mean, I just,
well, he ain't going to be a guest.
Maybe Riverdale is good. We can have one for that.
Hot take.
You're right. You're right. In the express reasoning of selling out.
Yes.
He's the greatest comic book writer that
You
ever
did,
existed.
yeah. You totally forgot the shill, man. What the heck is the matter with you?
Well, he's not on the show. What if our guests actually listen to our show? I'm going to insult Collective Soul. Actually, I'm not.
Who was I insulting the other week, and you just kept shutting me down. You were like, "Well, let's just get around it. Let's just get around it." And I was like, I was determined to put them down, and you just kind of kept stepping around me. And I'm like, "What are they going to be a guest? Like what?" I can't remember who it was. It wasn't Ryan Johnson because we roast him quite regularly, but it was someone else, and I was like, "This is terrible." And it was when we were doing the review of House of X. And you just kept...
Oh, Jonathan Hickman.
No, it wasn't, because that's not... I don't really have a negative thing to say about him. But you just kept skirting around whatever I was saying. You just let it dangle there without actually reacting to it. And now you just hot take this guy from Riverdale.
We're going to get him on the... Well, who knows? Maybe we will.
That's fantastic.
Actually, we will. But like I said, if anybody...
No, we won't. No, we won't.
Coming up next week, Collective Soul. All right, last one. Arrowverse. There are 5 returning Arrowverse shows. If you count Black Lightning as an Arrowverse, which you can or can't, it's a DCCW show.
Isn't Arrowverse is ending this year, though, isn't it?
No, just Arrow.
Arrow is ending.
Just Arrow is ending.
Yeah, Arrow is ending.
Batwoman is coming back. Legends of Tomorrow, though, is a mid-season replacement, so technically not fall, but I threw him in the promo.
Wow, they got kind of downgraded a little bit.
I think it's just because Batwoman got added. So,
I haven't seen Black Lightning, even though I'm black. I have actually.
That's the. You know what the funny thing is? It's the only one of all these shows I've seen. Apparently, Arrow is amazing. Flash. Everyone keeps telling me Flash.
Arrow's supposedly Arrow's really good, but Arrow was on long before I got into it. I got to so it was
Netflix, dude. We can watch it.
Man, that's 22 episodes per season. It's too much, man.
It's right up there. It's right up there with. I mean, look. When all is said and done, I'm going to watch Mandalorian because we're going to review it and we're going to talk all about it because it's going to be huge. I'm intrigued by Watchmen enough to go watch it, even though it's sacrilegious. But I'll give it a shot because he's going to do something. I like Damon Lindelof. He's going to do something different, and Lindelof. I will eventually catch up to Walking Dead. I'll eventually catch up to Walking Dead.
Okay, I'm looking forward to The Expanse coming in December on Amazon. If we might, I mean, that's science fiction. That's comic book science fiction and novels. So, I mean, if you're talking about what I'm genuinely excited for,
who's in that? Which one is that?
It's Stephen Strait is in it. It's a space drama. It's a science fiction show. It's on this. It had 3 seasons on the Sci-Fi Channel, and then the Sci-Fi Channel canceled it in season 3, and then Amazon picked it up.
Yeah, okay, I know.
Amazon saved it, and it's great. The books are great. The TV show is great. The 3rd season is fantastic. I've watched that 3rd season maybe 3 times, like 3 or 4 times since it aired. Like, how many times can you say you watch a whole season? Yeah, 2 or 3 times. And then what will happen is while I'm working around the house or something like that, I'll just put it on, and it'll start at episode 1. By the time I check it out again, we're at episode 7. So you just finish it off. I'm really looking forward to that. I am aware that they have peaked at season 3. So I am managing my expectations for season 4. I'm just hoping don't worry. It's good.
Amazon's going to find out why Sci-Fi canceled it pretty soon.
No, supposedly they're well aware of what they're into, and they really wanted a science fiction vehicle.
Cool.
And The Expanse is pretty much the vehicle that they picked up. Have you watched Carnival Row?
No, I haven't. I've heard nothing about it except for the advertisements. I've heard people are like it's decent.
Carnival Row is out. Dark Crystal. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of things. So but those, I'm saying, being excited about
those debuted in the summertime. This is our fall TV preview. Chime in on the Facebook feed. Let us know what you think.
The point was just that there's a lot of material out.
Yeah,
so to be excited about any one particular thing is pretty difficult. Since even though they debuted then, if you haven't watched it, you're gonna watch them in the fall or in the spring or whatever. So
South Park, I'm always excited for the Chappelle show, the Chappelle Netflix special,
which debuted
and Glow
in the summer.
Glow. Go check it out. All right, when we come back, we go spinning
hypocrite.
the racks.
What I want to feel for Rian Johnson as a creator is that he turned in the most kick-ass Star Wars script that was going to flip the script on the entire saga, and Kathleen Kennedy and everybody else like, no, we can't do this. What else you got? And then he turns into the first draft of the Star Wars fanfic that he did when he was 15 years old. He goes, well, I got this also. And they're like, we'll make this. This is brilliant.
Secrets of the Sire.
Welcome back to Secrets of the Sire. Tune in every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, to hear me doing some a cappella versions of CNC Music Factory songs, or check out, we have great guests last week. Go download us on Apple Podcasts. We had Kevin Bacon, which was awesome, alongside his brother Michael Bacon of the Bacon Brothers. Next week we have amazing guests. We have Collective Soul, and
they didn't bring us one strip of bacon while they were on. And
Vault Comics editor-in-chief
very annoying.
Russell coming on next week. He's going to be our guest co-host as we go through a whole lot of fun stuff. But we do this every single week. We go spinning the racks.
Spin the rack, spin that rack.
Major spoiler for Spider-Man #1. So we're going to run down a couple of comics that are coming out this week that you should be reading. We're trying to transform this into a very comic-centric segment because this is the inside stuff. This is basically all the stuff that you're eventually going to see on screen, but you get to see it now. House of X #5 comes out. It's a big deal. Obviously, just that
everybody's loving House of X, man. I try to talk to anybody about it, just objectively, like, hey, do you really like it? Are you finding it a little convoluted and this and that? No, man, it's the greatest thing ever. Shut up. I know. So, I guess they got a bona fide hit on their hands.
Our friends at Funny Business, where we will be hosting a Star Wars Saturday night in December. Another one of our live events because...
Man, I wish I was told about any of these
Christmas
things that we're supposed to be doing. Then
you just did. Christmas and New Year's falls on a Wednesday this year. We had a lengthy conversation about this, by the way.
I don't remember talking to you ever.
Well, we didn't actually talk. It was all.
It's all text. So I can go back and read it.
He loves House of X #5. House of X in general, like in Powers. He's like, it's so great. And I was exactly saying the same point. I'm like, there's a couple things that make me want to go back and go, does this really work? He's like,
it's really dense, but it's kind of hard to break into. You know, I like it, and I'm enjoying it more and more. I just can't shake the skepticism of man, next year they're going to do something else and just going to just blow this right out of the, this is not going to be canon that we're going to follow for like 5 or 6 years, So that's my only misgiving from it.
Maybe it is.
Maybe so. If it is, I applaud them. I really do.
#5. #5 out this week. A couple others. I'm going to do a short little rundown because we've got a big one that comes out this week, and this one's big for all movie and TV show fans as well too. Black Hammer, Age of Doom #12 is from Dark Horse Comics. This is an Eisner Award-winning superhero saga. It concludes. It's the final episode of the Age of Doom series. So Black Hammer, I guess, has different volumes. This is a Age of Doom one. Go check it out. Questions are finally answered. Firefly #9 is from Boom Studios. Boom took over all the Joss Whedon properties, which sucks because I have not caught up on Buffy and Angel, and it also doubly sucks because Buffy and Angel...
They took over for IDW?
Dark Horse. Dark Horse. Well, IDW was Angel. Mm-hmm. Buffy was always Dark Horse.
Okay,
Buffy,
all right.
Dark Horse took over Angel also, and Joss Whedon was executive producing season 9, 10, 11, 12 of Buffy, so it was kind of a continuation of the series in comic book.
Right,
which now
I remember that.
It's been moved back. It's been moved over to Boom Studios, so those have been wiped from the continuity.
Jesus.
Star Wars.
See what I'm saying?
I know.
See exactly what I'm talking about?
Well, you see, I said I did that on purpose. Star Wars: Age of Resistance, Rey #1. This is from Marvel. Search for Skywalker.
Age of Resistance for Star Wars. What else is Age of Resistance? Oh, the Dark Crystal. How come they can't come up with their own subtitles for these things? This
After
stuff is becoming generic.
Yeah. Oh,
How can this stuff how can creativity become this generic? That is ridiculous. Go ahead. Sorry.
It says, after Han Solo's fall, Rey searched for Luke Skywalker, but before Luke, there was Leia. Witness never before seen moments between Rey and General Organa. What will Rey,
Lord.
Chewbacca, and R2-D2 encounter?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. All right.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares about your intiquels, you know?
Yeah.
Just get to the story and then do... Yeah, that's what they're called.
Did you coin that phrase? Or
no,
you just
I did not.
You should just say you did, because that's just brilliant.
I can't, because the Dune books invented it, because they started doing intiquels, which were sequels in the middle of the Dune books.
I like it.
And so, like, nobody cares if you're doing these inserts. Just tell well, some people care, but tell a major story. Stop with these little... Oh, we're gonna really elaborate on, because like the movies don't reflect any of that stuff. You know, there's no reflection of it in the films. So, what a waste. This is the
big one. This is the big one to hit. I wanted to run down a few that you guys should pick up, but this is the big one to hit. Spider-Man #1 comes out now. Obviously, if anybody is a longtime comic book fan, Spider-Man #1 is the Todd McFarlane Spider-Man that was launched so many years ago when titles actually meant something. But no, they're launching Spider-Man #1, and it's the most shocking and incredible comic of 2019. Is here as J.J. Abrams and his son Henry Abrams are joined by superstar artist Sarah Pichelli.
Awesome artist.
Unbelievable. Oh my God. I want her as a guest because she's amazing.
Me too.
Team up for Spider-Man.
No hot takes on her.
No,
no hot takes.
My hot take is she is an amazing artist.
Yes.
That's it. Like I drool at her artwork. What do they have planned for Peter Parker and Mary Jane Watson? Who is Cadaverous? The modern master of mystery makes his Marvel debut this September.
Say that 3 times fast.
Oof, boy. Bleeding Cool, though. Yes, earlier this week came out with
hot take coming up.
major spoilers for Spider-Man #1. The following contains some seriously strong spoilerage. So again, it came out today, September 18th. So turn away at this point.
Well, don't ruin it for me. I didn't read it.
According to Rich Johnson, I haven't seen a copy, but the people who are talking about this are the kind of people who would know. Not about plot, not about cliffhanger. This is about the very concept of the comic in question. And then he goes on saying, firstly, I'm told by good sources this is not a PR job. J.J. Abrams did actually co-write the comic with his son Henry. That's good. It's not just about Henry playing off his father's name. He and his father did properly collaborate on the comic. Secondly, the idea of a father and son on the comic is intrinsic to the concept of this Spider-Man series. It is part and parcel of it and may even make the comic more appealing. Why? Because Spider-Man #1 is not about Peter Parker Spider-Man. It's about Ben Parker, son of Peter Parker and Mary Jane Watson, the inheritor of the Spider-Man identity, and the story is set in the future of the Marvel Universe, something that had not even been hinted at in the preview material. And that means there are probably blatant lies in the solicitations listed for the first 3 issues. For Spectacular Folk, the first appearance of Ben Parker, son of Peter and Mary Jane, was his birth in the future set MC2 reality in Spider-Girl #59. Anyone out there is like, what is MC2? MC2 was an imprint from Marvel Comics, depicted an alternate future timeline based off a What If comic book. So it came out in 1998. It's like 20 years ago. It's actually relatively popular. Because it kind of gave stuff that was like continuity free and, fans could just kind of jump in. And ironically enough, it's a female Spider-Man, a female Captain America, a female Wolverine, the son of the Juggernaut, and I forget, there was one other person in it. But this is before social media. So when you did these things, there was more of an openness to enjoying it because you thought,
yeah, because there was no angry inchers, trying to make bucks off of hate.
Right, but there also wasn't creators going out there and being like, I believe that this is what should be happening now, so I'm making this to give representation. There was nothing. There was no dialogue. There was just, here's a concept. What do you think? Totally honest and objective concepts that could be cool. And in this case, they actually were, because the Spider-Girl series ran for a while. The Juggernaut series was also, I think, the second most popular, and it was a cool little like what if alternate universe. But it's just amazing. Again, debuted 20 years ago, and it also, just how it debuted. if that was today, the vitriol that would come out is unbelievable. But so go check out Spider-Man #1. I will be definitely checking it out. We will actually review it next week. What do you think, Hassan? Is that a good idea?
Yes.
All right.
Good
I like
idea.
it. Next week we're jam packed next week. It is Emmy time. The Emmys, I think, are this.
What does that got to do with comics? And
we got Game of Thrones up for
pop
Emmy.
culture.
A whole bunch of Emmys. We've got Vault Comics coming on.
Yeah, like
They
Star
do
Trek
also-
Discovery won Emmys and Golden Globes, and everybody is mad at it. Like, how could it possibly have won an Emmy and
Yeah.
a Golden Globe?
So we're gonna do a little bit of that.
I mean, once Game of Thrones wins, it's gonna be pretty bad. The reaction's gonna be pretty strong.
Yeah. No,
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Well,
I'm definitely looking forward to that.
yeah. So we're gonna do our Emmy review.
If that's what you're asking, if you're asking what I'm looking forward to, I'm looking forward to people's head exploding when and if Game of Thrones wins Emmy for Best Writing. Oh my God, that's gonna be the best thing.
We're gonna dive deep into that. We're gonna have, like I said, Vault Comics is on. We're also gonna have Collective Soul, 90s rockers. Their new album is actually pretty awesome. I gave it to Hassan. He refused to listen to it. I am
because I'm black. I did not refuse to listen to it. I haven't listened to it yet. So F off. I'll have listened to it by the time we have them on.
hot take, baby. All right. See y'all next week.
Bye.
Secrets of the Sire.